I'm gonna
bummer.
have to hook you up with RetroPie or RetroArch.
Oh, okay.
All right, so speaking of that, let's talk about this. So it seems like there's tons of new challengers to the ring. One of them
Right?
being,
Like,
this SNES Mini is now like making all the guys come out of the woodwork. So Atari Flashback's been a thing. They're trying to make it an HDMI console now. There's that, and you showed me last night this Coleco, or not Coleco, Commodore.
Commodore 64. I feel like Coleco couldn't be far behind at this point. It'll probably be announced within a couple months. Because I feel like anybody who ever had a console in the 80s is like, oh man, let's ride this wave. Let's cash in on this mini retro console thing as quick as we can. So yeah, the Commodore 64 Mini.
Yeah, look at this thing. I mean, it's tiny. This is even a good picture here. Let me find a good one. Yeah, so apparently comes with the original Commodore joystick, which looks... Yeah.
I feel like that is going to make an excellent movie prop for somebody doing like this is some sort of 80s flash. What was the one with it wasn't Kung Fu Hustle. What was the one they just did recently?
I don't know. Would you like to play a game? Like,
Let's see what this is.
here's the thing that kills me about C64. There's not too many people that have played one of these in the States. Like, and apparently in Europe this thing's wildly popular. But the only reason I ever saw one is because for whatever reason, one of my neighbor kids' grandparents or somebody bought him one. It was like $600 back in the day. It was okay, but like even compared to like my Atari at the time, I was like I never felt like I was missing anything from it.
Yeah, I knew one guy that had one, and it's not like we were falling all over ourselves to get to his house to play C64.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this list of games, man. Like,
I see like one game that I know. It's California Games, and that's about it.
That was the only one whose box art that I like legit recognized last night when we were looking at all the titles. Like, some of these just look really bad. And there's a quote somewhere, I can't remember what site we found it on, where the guy is just basically like, what plagued the C64 is it's just there's not a lot of great or even good games, and the majority of the titles are just sloppy ports or direct copies of more successful titles from other consoles.
Yeah.
And I don't see this one getting a lot of love, man.
I don't see a lot of them getting a lot of love. I don't think they understand that they're not Nintendo.
Right. I mean, let's be perfectly frank, man. Like I had a Sega Master System. If they came out with a Sega Master System Mini tomorrow and put 300 games on it, it wouldn't even be on my radar. Like I would not make it out of the house. Like specifically, there's a lot of childhood memories involved in the NES Mini and the SNES Mini that I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of like the Master. I was like the outcast in the neighborhood because I had a Master System. There was one other dude in the entire grade school that had a Master System. While everybody else was trading Nintendo games, it was basically just him and I. We like just reluctantly had to be friends because we were the only friends we had that had the Master System. So I don't know if I want to be reminded of that time of my life. I think you can keep your Master System Mini.
Well, I only knew one kid that had a Master System, and that was the same kid that had the C64.
Yeah. See the kind of guys I'm lumped in with having a Master System. Yikes.
The only thing that I think can come kind of in the same vein here is, well, they had a Sega Genesis Mini, but apparently it's terrible. Like, I guess the emulation's bad on it or something. So this Atari has pretty good praise. They said the emulation's really good. There's some strange things here, like the Frogger game on here is the arcade ROM and not the Atari version.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
But wireless sticks, HDMI out, and everybody I've seen review it so far is giving it pretty high praise. But it's even for Atari's not well known anymore. I mean, it's freaking 40 years old now, the 2600.
Yeah, that's the thing is there's a generational thing here too.
Yeah.
Like I have a hint of nostalgia for the Atari, but I know there's guys out there that are 5 or 10 years older than we are that this was probably like the one. This is the first time they had a home console.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just seems like they're coming out of the woodwork. I don't know where we're gonna have next, like Tiger handheld classics or something.
Ugh, gross. Or those Tiger LCD games? Those are so bad.
Did you see they even have? You remember there's like a little Coleco arcade tabletop, like LCD games? No, not at all. They look like little mini arcade machines.
It's like the little mini arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
I knew a guy that had it was probably, I think it was Pac-Man. Maybe it was Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I vaguely remember those. But that's going way, way back.
Yeah. So like, they even have those now that they brought back out, and it's just like, I don't know, guys. It's cool that Nintendo did it, but I don't think you're getting that you're not Nintendo. So.
Oh, Chris Dude in the comments making a valid point. Like, when they do a Dreamcast Mini, I'll throw my money at it like Roger Clemens. Absolutely, bro. I would absolutely go for a Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's...
To this day, one of my favorite consoles.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
A little expensive to make right now, I think. But,
probably.
Yeah. The other thing, I've heard people say N64 is next. I don't agree with that. I think their whole point of this classic series is to keep it under $100, so it doesn't compete with their other stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, because at what point does this stuff run the risk of encroaching on their virtual console sales?
I'm kind of wondering if they're just not doing virtual console sales and just these anymore. I honestly don't know what their strategy is. It doesn't seem like they even care that you hack it. They've left a message inside the console. It's code for people.
Yeah, they're encouraging you to do it. They just kind of want you to do it in a respectable manner that's not going to break the insides of the machine.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's like a little go ahead, just don't brick your machine, but we know what you're up to.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool little Easter egg that they buried in there.
Yeah.